All right, today we're going to be talking about quadrilaterals. What are we going to talk about with quadrilaterals? We're going to find the missing angles of a quadrilateral, and then we're going to classify them. So what are our new vocabulary? A quadrilateral. Quadrilateral is a four-sided figure. Now many of them have special names like a square and a rectangle, but quadrilateral is just a general term for any four-sided figure. Key concept. Angles of a quadrilateral. The sum of the measure of the angles on the inside of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. You may remember back before that triangles add up to be 180. Quadrilaterals, or four-sided figures, add up to be 360. Well, how do we use this? Well, let's try an example. So here is an example, and we have a quadrilateral. This one looks much like a trapezoid. So it has four angles because it's got the four sides. And we know what Q is, it's 75, and S is 110. But what about R and T? They have X values. But we can use the idea of them all adding up to be 360 in order to go ahead and find those exact values for R and T. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all of these up going around, and that set it equal to 360, and then solve. So here we go. So there's all of them equaling 360. Put the numbers in instead, 75 and 4x and 110 and x, all equal 360. Now we're going to have to go ahead and put this together. These are just different piles. Let's organize it a little bit over here. We have 4x and x, so 4x's and one more should be 5. And then the 75 and 110 gives us that 185 here. So we just combined some like terms, made it a little bit easier to look at. Well, now we need to solve it. How do we get rid of this 185? We move it to the other side. Subtract 185 from both sides. And then we're left with just 5x equals 175. And then we're going to divide by 5, and x is 35. So t is 35, and the other one, r, is 4 times 35, or 140. Let's try another one. Here we have the same type of thing. Again, it looks very much like a trapezoid here. We have this one value here that we do not know what it is. So let's go ahead and put these all together. X plus 105 plus 54 plus 75. Add them together and we get 234. 234 subtracted, and x is 126. Not too difficult in order to go ahead and do. Like it when there's only just an x here, right? The last one we had a 5x, and this one's just x, and that's fine. Sometimes they'll be the easy ones like this one, and sometimes they'll be like the other one. Let's do one more here. We got that 2x and an x now, a couple other values, so we're going to write them all together. So that's 2x plus 88 plus 152. If you want to put them all in one order or another, just as long as you have all four of them. Then we got to combine some things. 88 and 152 is the 240, and 1x and 2x, is 3x. Subtract the 240 from both sides, you get 120, divide by 3, and we get x equals 40. So this angle right here is 40. This other one would be 40 times 2, or 80. So substituting, we have 2x and x, so 40 times 2 is 80, and then the original one is just 40. All right, what are the different types of quadrilaterals? Well, we have a parallelogram. That's probably the most common one. Opposite sides are equal and parallel, and opposite angles are equal. But it has this kind of a shape where the top is parallel and the sides are parallel. Both sets are parallel. For a rhombus, it's a parallelogram, but all sides are equal. So top, bottom, left, and right, those are all the same size. Rectangle is the opposite of the rhombus, where all the angles are the same. And if all the angles are the same, they all have to be right angles. The top and bottom are the same, left and right are the same, but they're not all the same together. When you take rhombus and rectangle together, you get the square. Sides are all the same, angles are all the same. Kite has the top two are the same and the bottom two are the same. Trapezoid, these are the ones we were looking at. The top and the bottom are parallel. The other two sides are not. So one's shorter and one's longer. All right, we have two different types of quadrilaterals here, and we're going to go ahead and try to name them both. This has A has a parallel side, and these other sides aren't parallel, so it only has one set of parallel sides. And when it's only one set of parallel sides, that's a trapezoid. Now B here, these marks here mean that they are the same length. So this bottom side and this top side are the same, and these two sides are the same. And if it's top and bottom and the sides and they're parallel like that, we have two sets of parallel. And if it's two sets of parallel, that's a parallelogram. Let's try a couple more. Didn't realize that these two problems were right next to each other. Very similar to what we just had. That's, of course, a parallelogram. This one, since there's only one tick mark, that means all four sides are the same. If all four sides are the same, that's a rhombus. And that's what we have for you today.